Good morning, students. Let's recall the three rules that we have done yesterday. Rules of journalizing. The first one is debit the receiver and credit the giver. In case of personal account, we have done. The second rule we have done, in case of real account, it is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. The third rule we have done yesterday, it is debit all expenses and losses credit all incomes and gains. So, these three rules we have discussed on the basis of the type of accounts that are very much helpful for journalizing. Whenever you have to journalize the things, it is these three rules always be kept in the mind. Yesterday, I have given you one example of these type of rules. Today, we will start with the business transaction and do it in the format of journal. See, here the format of journal that I'm going to show you on the screen. The journal is to be prepared in the format like this. It's a T-shaped format that's floating on the screen, that titled by, the heading is there, journal. The first column will be the date. Whatever the date on which the transaction take place, it is to be recorded here. In the absence of date, serial number is to be marked. Whenever in the question you don't have the date, you have to mark the serial number. Otherwise, in practical, in reality, date is to be posted over here always. Then particulars, whatever the particulars or the transaction you have, it is to be considered here. That whatever the transaction that is to you are going to be entered, that transaction. Ledger folio. Ledger folio. Folio means the page number. If you remember, I told you in the accounting process, after journalizing the transaction, it is to be posted into the ledger. So when it is posted in the ledger, what happened in that case? When it is posted in the ledger, it is posted in the ledger on the various pages. The various pages contains various accounts. So what happened in that case? In that case, the page number is to be recorded over here. That very easily we can see that on which page number, which transaction we have done. It is very easy to see. Suppose you have put the ledger folio number 3. You immediately can open the ledger 3 page number where you can see this entry is to be posted. Suppose page number 103. So 103 is mentioned over here in front of entry. Against the entry, you have write the page number. Immediately, you can open your ledger account and you can see whether you have posted this entry in the ledger account on page number 103 or not, or it is correct or incorrect. And whenever the auditor or any accountant or taxation department just check your accounts, they also can identify very easily that whatever you have done. It can be examined very easily. It can be audited very easily. So ledger folio is the column for the page number. But keep one thing in your mind, it is used to, in such an important way practically. But when you do it, you are doing the journal only. You are not this time preparing the ledger and you don't have the journal and the ledger books. So in this case, you have to remain it blank only. It will remain blank. Nothing is to be posted over here. Next is amount debit. If you remember yesterday, I told you whenever any entry is to be posted, one account will be debit, another account will be credit. So whatever the amount that is related to the debit is to be shown in the debit column, and whatever that is amount related to the credit is to be shown in the credit column. In this way, we have to put the amount also. Let's start with the first transaction. First transaction, what can be the first transaction can be amount invested by the entrepreneur. Whenever any entrepreneur start a business, I want a one more page here. It is not there. So you please write the transaction in your notebook as well. Please write down everybody amount invested by the entrepreneur. Open the double page of your notebook. On the one page, you write the transaction and please draw the journal on the next page in front of that. It should be parallel to each other that you able to identify every time for which transaction what entry is to be passed. So please write down the first transaction amount invested or capital invested by entrepreneur. So what will be the entry? Whenever the capital invested by the business will receive the money, cash will come to the business. So entry will become cash account debit to capital account. So in this way, the first entry is to be passed. Whenever you pass the entry, under the entry in bracket, a brief explanation is to be written. Whenever you write this brief explanation, this is known as narration. So what is to be written over here? Amount. AMT dot is the abbreviation of amount, or the capital you can write invested by the entrepreneur. In this way, the entry and the amount invested by the entrepreneur. Suppose the amount is invested, that is 1 lakh. So 1 lakh is to be written over here. And credit amount is to be shown on the credit side. The next entry. Second entry will be purchase goods. Suppose you are purchasing the goods. What happened in that case? Please write down purchase goods for cash. When you are purchasing the goods, goods are coming to your business. And you remember in the second chapter we have done, whenever any goods are to be purchased, it is to be recorded as purchases account. So whenever any goods are purchased by you, it is to be written over here. The entry will be passed purchases account debit to cash account. Why the cash account is to be written over here? Because when you are purchasing the goods on cash, for cash, cash is going out of business and goods are coming to your business. So purchases, it's a kind of goods are getting in the business. So purchases account debit and cash. Credit what? Goes out. Cash is going out of the business. So purchases account debit to cash account. The entry is to be made for purchases of goods for cash. The next transaction number 3. This time, suppose you purchase the goods on credit. Purchase the goods on credit. When the goods are purchased on credit, what should be the entry? The entry should be same. Purchases account will remain debit as it is. Purchases account debit to. Now we are purchasing the goods on credit. When we are purchasing the goods on credit, what is to be done in that case? The name of the creditor is to be shown over here, because the person who is purchasing the goods from us and not paying us the money, the amount is due to pay to him. He becomes the creditor. Creditor is the debit, the receiver, and creditor is the giver. So creditor account will be credit because creditor is the giver of the business. And purchases, goods are coming to the business. So purchases account debit. This entry is to be posted for purchases of goods on credit. If the goods are purchased on credit, it is to be shown over here. Like this. I hope these three entries are clear to everybody. Then I'll move ahead. If you have any query, please note it down in your notebook. We will discuss in the query session. Let me recall to you. First of all, we have done the amount invested by the entrepreneur. If the amount invested by the entrepreneur in the business if the amount is invested by the entrepreneur in the business, it is to be written like this: cash account debit to capital account. Whatever the cash is coming to the business, debit what comes in to capital account. Then goods are purchased for cash, purchases account debit to cash account. Whatever the amount it is, suppose the amount is of rupees 50,000, say for 50,000. So here you have to write 50,000, and in the credit, again 50,000. I hope everybody is able to understand that amount, how the amount is to be written. The next is purchases goods on credit. If the goods purchased on credit, purchases account will be debit as it is, but creditor account will be credit in that case. Now, after purchasing the goods, suppose you sell it. If the goods are sold, what is to be done in that case? The fourth entry can be for the goods sold. Goods sold for cash. The entry will become cash account debit to sales account. Goods are going out of the business. Goods are coming in the business here. Goods are going out of the business. So this entry is to be passed for goods sold for cash. And the amount is to be written over here. For the debit, the amount is to be shown in the debit column. For credit, the amount is to be shown in the credit column. The next entry can be goods sold on credit. The entry will become debtor. If you sell the goods, they become your debtors. So debtor account, debit the receiver. They have to pay to the business. So debtor has become the asset of the business and assets are always debited. So debtor account debit to sales account. Creditors are the liability of the business. Liabilities are credit in nature. Creditor account we credit here. Debtors are asset of the business. They are always debit in nature. It is to be debited whenever any debtor account is opened. So debtor account debit to sales account. The entry is to be done for sold goods on credit. Next, the next entry can be amount withdrew for personal use. Suppose I'm just going to rub it because sheet in space is less. So I hope everybody has noted down. The next entry is the entry number 6. The sixth transaction can be cash withdrew for personal use, means drawings are made by the business. What is the entries to be done in that case when the drawings are made by the business from the business by the entrepreneur? What is coming to the business? Debit what comes in and credit what goes out. When the cash is withdrew by the entrepreneur, what does it mean? It means cash is going out of the business. So one thing is clear to us that the cash account will be credited, credit what goes out. I'm repeating, cash is going out of the business, so cash account will be credit. Now the question arises, what will be debit? We are making the drawings as an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is making the drawings, so drawings account debit to drawings account debit to cash account. The transaction is to be done for cash withdrew for personal use. Next transaction can be if you pay the amount to any of the creditor. Suppose yesterday we also have done paid rupees 5,000 to Ram. Ram is the receiver in that case. So Ram debit to cash account. Entry will be for cash paid to Ram. Next, entry number 8 can be amount received from Mahesh. Debit what comes in? Cash is coming to the business, so cash account will be debit. Debit what comes in? Cash account debit to Mahesh. Because in this case, Mahesh is the cash is received. Mahesh is the giver. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. So amount received from Mahesh. This way you have to do this entry. The next is salary paid. If you pay the salary, salary become an expense for the business. What the salary become? Salary become just as an expense for the business. So salary account, debit to salary account, debit to cash account. It will be for salary paid. Salary is an expense for the business. Somehow, vice versa to this, if the income is received by the business, suppose commission received, any commission, so cash is coming to the business, debit what comes in? Cash account, debit cash account, debit to commission account. In this way, you can do the entries, the 10 entries we have done today. If you have any doubt, then you can have in the query session now. So this is the entries, and first question is absolutely related to this that you have to practice, and tomorrow we will have that general discussion about that. Now please get ready for the query session. Feel free to ask any query if you have.